Attrape ton manteau, mon jureur de guerre. We're going back to the Vendee with Osprey's On Garde by Craig Woodfield, a fantastic little skirmish set of wargame rules. Once again, the good farmers of the Vendee are feeling their oats. They have been pimp slapping the Republican Guards around for a while now, and the Republican Guards are just about sick and tired of it. I have crafted a couple of rosters. I want to see a couple of things. You'll note that our battlefield here has a huge open field. I want to see what these guys can do with their muskets. I also want to show you guys what this old boy right here, he's the leader of the farmers, the leader of the Vendee. He's a hero that stretches way back. He is a weapon master, so he has available to him. He has earned enough experience points to unlock a couple of feat chains, and he has some additional maneuvers and ploys that he can do in combat. This is 133 points on either side. I don't think I've actually put out... Yeah, I got everybody out. They're not going to start there. I got to warn you, this is going to be another two-parter. I can't believe that I'm going to be able to get through a straight-up battle of 130-point teams in a single video. We'll see what happens. For those of you that are here for the first time, the cows here, a couple of other things I should point out. The pigs in the yard, the cows over here in the field, they're just here for ambiance. Let me tilt the camera up. I'll show you the rest of the battlefield. There's the edge of it right there. We've got a little field, stone surrounded field there. This is the high cover area. These are swamps. These are trees, rough ground. We've got hedges there. And then if we tilt up just a little bit more, you'll see again, we've got some wide open fields. So we have a little country tavern by the bridge. So people coming cross country can cross here. And oh, look, they can stop and wet their whistle with a little wine, as one does in the French countryside. These markers over here, the blue chips, will go underneath any figure that fires a weapon. Takes a full turn, no moving, no running, no fighting, and you can reload, ditch the blue chip, you can shoot again. The green chip means the figure is stunned. Yellow chip means the figure is lightly wounded, and the red chip is seriously wounded. And then, of course, beyond that, the figure is just eliminated. To kind of bring you up to speed, these guys are all the same. We've got one leader and a bunch of musketeers. Well, they're not really musketeers because this is, of course, the French counter-revolution, so they are simply the local militia. They're all rank 2. He's rank 4. On this side, we've got one rank 5, a pair of rank 3 guys who are armed with muskets. He has a sword and a pistol. He is a duelist of the old school. They only have their muskets. They are sharpshooters. And then these other 5 guys are ruffians. They're rank 1 guys. They've all got a spear. So there's your two forces. Let's roll into... We're going to clear the wreck out of the way and beautify up our soon-to-be battleground. And then we'll start with a meeting engagement straight from the rules of En Garde. One last bit, sorry about this, before we get started, of logistics. I have 2 bags this time. In the past, I had drawn all of my ploys. Now, to be honest with you, En Garde is a game with a lot of bluffing in it, and it's probably not the best game for solo gaming. And what I did is I threw all of my attack and defense chips into a single bag and pulled them all out for one side and pulled them all out for the other side, and it made the game kind of wonky in a way. So what I've done is I have put 5 attack tokens and 5 defense tokens in each of these bags. That way, the odds that these guys evenly match themselves attack for defense is different. They could be all attack, or all defense, or any combination thereof. I think it's going to make for a much more wildly unpredictable game. Let's find out together on today's episode of The Joy of Wargaming. When you first set up your battle, En Garde does have a table to figure out where you're going to be playing, whether it's urban, rural, or in the wilderness. We already know what it is. It's kind of a rural suburban area, so we're going to skip that. Since we're doing a skirmish, the next thing you do is you roll a d6, and on a 5 or 6 you have to roll on the weather table, which we don't, and then you roll for a time of day, roll a d6. And on a 6, something special, but we don't. So for deployment, each player rolls a d6. The white dice are going to be for the Vendeeans, and the red dice are going to be for the bad guys. Red and orange, we're going to use those together. So we got 3 and 3, and we roll, and the high roll goes to these guys. So they say we want to do corner deployment. In addition to the standard points, each side has a victory condition that they can use to score additional points. And you roll on a chart. And so for the blues, the 4 is lose no more than 25% of your force. So they're going to protect their boys. The 5 means that they want to kill more than 75% of the warband. If you achieve your victory, and they're mutually exclusive, whoever does that gets 5 additional victory points. Standard victory points go a little something like this. You get points equal to the rank of each model you kill, and you get half the victory points for any model that routes off the table. So we'll keep track of that as we go. And I think with all that out of the way, we are at long last ready to do setup. Oh, game length, D6 plus 6. The game is going to last 12 turns, so I'll set up a D12 for that. Since this is a straight skirmish, we're going to roll a D6 to see who gets to pick a table corner for deployment. 5 and a 5, 1 and a 1. It's going to be a doubles kind of day. So the blues get to choose one corner to deploy in first. And because they're trying to preserve their forces, they're going to choose this corner down here. That is going to give them some protection as the Vendeeans are coming to try to rout them. So I'm going to set the guys up. That means the Vendeeans start over in that corner over there. So here's what the table looks like from the point of view of the blues. The story must be that they were marching to seize that bridge over there, but they've kind of chickened out. He's not the bravest commander. You can't see it, but over there in the woods behind the farmhouse, behind the tavern, that's where you'll find the farmers. The Vendeeans are headed this way to run them off. Let's go look at the battlefield from their perspective. So we've reversed the angle, and our blues are way down there. Now, the blues are going to, they've got to hold out for 12 turns. They're not going to move. They've got cover. They're going to hang tight there as long as they can. These are the guys that are under pressure to get across the road and across the field and put paid to the blues. So that's going to be the challenge for them. The good news is that it's going to go a little bit quick to start with because the blues aren't moving. They like their defensive position. Anytime you got to fire over a hedge or a wall, that's a -1 to the roll. So they're going to wait until these guys, now there are some line of sight, but they don't want to take any pot shots now because it's going to be at a total of like -3. It's going to be crazy hard to hit. So we'll start off with just, it doesn't matter priority because in the first turn, all that you're going to see happen is the Vendeeans rushing up, trying to stay out of the line of fire. And they can run a total, because they're infantry, they can all run 9 inches. Like so. And remember, this fella here, the guy in the fancy coat with the purple hat, he is that duelist. And he's a very brave duelist. He's going to let everybody else go first. So he can make it to there. These are the 2 guys with muskets, and they've got 1 spearman kind of backing them up a little bit there. 5.5, and then you can move another 3.5, and that's going to put him right behind those guys. And I think that's the end of turn 1. Now it really is time to play it straight. So let's go ahead and roll for initiative. And we get a 1 and 1, and we get a 6 and 4. So the blues get initiative, and the commander there can order. Now he's rank 4, so he can order 4 guys to do something. And he's actually not going to do that just yet. he gets to decide. He says, I want you to move first. Our marksman is going to jump over the hedge. He can only move 4 inches, and he's going to stop right there. Likewise with his buddy, and this spear guy actually is going to race over to here and hide behind the wall of this bridge right there. These guys, if they run, can only move 6 inches, so they're going to run up to the back. These two guys, by running, can run to the back of the inn. He's still stuck in difficult terrain, and our... You know, I think we're going to bring our hero around to this side. And that'll be it for turn 2. Turn 3, we can get a little closer. Rolling for priority. Vendeeans get it this time. Okay. The musket men can move 4 inches and still shoot. So he can come right up to this hedge here. But that's all he's going to do. He's going to run up as well. And that's it. They're actually going to hang tight. Everybody over there is reloading. We're going to give this old boy a chance. Well, is everybody reloading? Maybe not. He says, okay, you're going to move 1, 2, so we've got a couple of guys that are aimed over here. We may actually do some shooting. No, I take it back. He's going to run 6 inches over here. He changed his mind. He doesn't want to charge them alone, which is probably smart. Hey, it's turn 3. What are you doing? We're going to get up as close as we can while staying out of, let's see, 4 inches. Yeah, he's gonna join him, and that's it for turn 3. Turn 4. Now you only get 1 aim, so once they start running, these guys all get that big +1. At last, it's time for the balloon to go up. The blues get priority, and the commander says, nope, I want you to go first. So these two are going to aim. He's going to aim, and he says, this guy is going to shoot at him. So, shooting roll. The blues have a shoot of 1 plus 1 for the aiming. So you roll a 2d6, you get a 3, and that's not going to do anything. He also is going to aim. He's going to take a pot shot across the table. Now, let's go ahead and work through all these. He's at +1 for the aiming, +1 for his shooting, -1 for the range. It's further than 12 inches. And just so you can check me, there's 12 inches. So he is at a total of -1, -2, +2. This is a straight roll. Roll this, subtract 6. That is a 9, minus a 3. And that is a light wound to this guy right here. That also means we need another reload chip. All right, you. Time to start drawing some fire. You're gonna run. You can only run 6 inches, so that's gonna put you right here because you got to leap over the wall. Now it's the commander's turn. The commander says, listen, you 3, I want all 3 of you to shoot at him. So that's going to be, and now he is at 12 inches. No, he's not. He's still just out. So it's -1, +1 for the aim, +1 for the shooting. So roll this, and we're going to add 1, so we're going to subtract 5, and that'll be the number of wounds. So he takes 6 wounds, which is a critical wound. So let me throw down my reload markers here for these 3. And that critical wound removes him from the game. So 1 down. then he gets to move, and he does the same thing. Hey diddle diddle, 6 inches to there. Now it's just going to be one shot, and that's going to be at a total of plus 1, minus 6, so we're at a total of minus 5, and that's 5 wounds, which is a grievous wound. We're not under attack. That's just my bird. There's your grievous wound. This guy, fortunately, can run 9 inches all the way up to here. He's actually going to take a little bit of a roundabout way to there, and then we get a shot there. Same thing. Is he within 12? Oh boy, he is not within 12. So that's a total of plus 2 to the roll. That's a 14. Minus 6 is 8, and that's another dead farmer. We need a reload chip. Maybe this game will go faster than I thought. Having seen... Oh boy, what do we do here? I'm gonna run to there. And now he's gonna take a shot at him. That is, how far away is he? Minus 1 for that, but plus 1. So add 1 to the roll. That's a 9. Minus 3. That is a 3. And a 3 is a light wound. So he takes another chip. And these do stack. And we got another guy who's kind of bringing up the rear here. He can only move 6 more inches. Yeah, he's going to go take cover back there. And then we have, what was that? 1, 2, 3. And then a shot here. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so he's going to take a shot at the guy behind the tree here. That's going to be the total of minus 1 for the cover, minus 1 for the distance, plus 1 for the aim, plus 1 for the shooting skill. So this is an even roll. Subtract 6. And he gets 4 altogether, and a 4 is going to be another grievous wound. Man, they are shooting them to ribbons, aren't they? And we'll call it this guy, I guess. You know, ooh, okay. Throw down another chip. The last to go here is going to be the big man, who's going to go run behind the tree and take cover there. And we still have 1, 2, 3, 4 shots. And we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 right across the board. 1 at this guy. And because they are... So it's minus 1. Add 1, so that's a 2. That's another light wound, and he goes down. And that's going to be a problem. Because now the Vendeeans need to start making morale checks. We get 1 shot at this guy, and that's going to be a miss. 1 shot at this guy, and an 8. So if we subtract 6, then we get our minus 1, plus 1. It's an even shot, so a 2 is going to be a light wound. Did I do that right? Yeah, 2. Like this. And then we've got 1 last shot at this guy, and a 10, so there's your minus 6. So it's going to be 4, minus 1 for the range, minus 1 for the cover, a total of 2. Oh, plus 1 for, that's another light wound. Somebody was asking me in the comments about how effective shooting is, and I kind of poo-pooed it under normal situations. This is obviously not a normal situation. The Blues are definitely in a good position. Had those initial dice rolls came up different, the Vendeeans might have put themselves in a better situation. As it is, there's not a lot they can do. Now the good news is they've all fired. So now the Vendeeans have an opportunity to get across there before they can reload. Let's see if they manage to swing it. It is now turn 5. The Vendeeans get priority. So, First thing we're going to do is take a shot with him. Now, he has a shoot skill of, check our roster, 3. Plus he's aiming, so he's at a +4. He's firing with a musket at long range for -1, at a guy behind a wall for another -1. Might actually need to be -2 there. Yeah, we're going to call that -2 because he's behind a solid wall. So he's at a total of -3, and he's at a total of +4. So +1 to the roll. He gets an 11. -6 is a 5, which is a grievous wound. So this guy takes a grievous wound. And he reloads as his action. I'm tempted to just pull all these off, but we got to walk through it. Anything could happen. You got to play through the game, guys. No shortcuts today. So he earns himself a reload. That blue reloaded. So now he's going to take a shot. Now he also aimed, but because of that light wound, he has a -1 to his shoot skill. So he's got a total of +1 for aiming, -1 for the wound. That's a wash. He's got a +3 for his shoot skill. He's firing at long range behind a guy behind a wall, so he's at -3. So this is going to be an even roll. Subtract 6, and a 6 - 6 is a nothing. But he needs to reload. Oh, you know what I forgot to do last turn? You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to make a morale check for these guys. And a 7 will do it. Their morale is 7. Their morale is... The Vendeeans' morale is 7. The Blues' morale is 6. That 7 means that they're still doing okay. They're not wavering, so I don't need to worry about any of that stuff. But he's gone, so now we're going to reload here. And that means it's time to try and close the gap. 9. If he can get in there, he might be able to tear him up. We're going to do a reload here. Actually, he's going to order 4 of these guys to reload. He's a commander. He can do that. We're going to run up 9 and reload. And run up 9. And that's it for the Vendeeans. So these guys are going to go ahead and just all straight up reload. Turn number 6. Turn number 6. There we go. Turn number 6. Roll for priority. Blues get priority, and he's going to take it. Since he has priority, he's going to order these 4 guys to all shoot at the unwounded fella. That's going to be 4 shots. Now, they haven't aimed, so it's going to be... And the range on this is 7 inches there. So, let's look at our modifiers. Target is 3 inches away. No, so there's no bonus for range. There's no bonus for cover, so it's just going to be a straight shot. Adding a 1, we're going to subtract 5, and that's how many wounds are caused. And we got to do that 4 times. So there's 5 wounds. A stun, so it's a grievous, a stun, another grievous, and he's knocked out. That's the leader. They got to make another morale check after this. And I'm not going to lie to you, I really wanted to see what they could do. 6 inches. Since he's within 6 inches, he can close with this guy right here. And that's exactly what he's going to do. And then he is going to take a shot at this guy. And again, it's going to be regular range. He didn't aim, so it's going to be a straight roll. Subtract 6. Add 1. So 6 - 6 is 0, so he misses. Which allows him to charge here. And he just leaps right over. He's gonna fire. He's gonna circle around. He's gonna jump into this fray. And all the Vendeeans have gone, haven't they? No, these two have not. They're gonna reload. I actually don't think it's gonna matter because I need to kill 3. They're gonna move to contact. So that's going to be a 3-on-1 over here and a 4-on-1 over there. And, oh, now wait a second. What did I do here? Okay, everybody's moved. So we got some fights to do. Because he has, whoopsie, because our boss man over here, Monsieur Leader, has priority, he says we're going to do this fight first. And what we have here is a total of 4 CP. Wait, did I get that right? No, I think it's even worse than that. It's going to be 8 versus 1. So as you can imagine, this is not going to go well for the 1. That feller was suicidal. So here's your 8. 5, 6, 7, and 8. And remember, those guys have bayonets, so they get a +2 versus a single defense. So that first attack is going to be this guy right here against a defense. And it's going to be 2 attacks versus 2 defense. So 2-on-2. And our roll is a total of 5 versus 6. He is at a total of, what do we got here? We got a whole bunch of wounds here. It's he's fighting at a total of -2. He's fighting at a total of, wait, did I get that right? Let me just double check. He's got to fight at 2. He's fighting at a total of -1. And his fight is at a 0, except he's got a +3 because he's got 3 friends helping him. So his total is going to be a 9. His total is going to be a 6. So that 3 is a light wound, and he goes down. And that's all she wrote. So then we have another fight over here. And he is there. He's going to... First we have to roll for initiative. I forgot to do that over here. But I mean, let's be honest. This was only going to ever end in one way. The fight over here. So first we roll for initiative, and that's going to be a total of +0 for him. So he gets a 1, and he gets a 5. So obviously they get to go first. So we'll fight him, and it's going to be 6 versus 1 this time. I put all the beans back in the bag. So there's your 7. Going a little too quick here, aren't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the blues, and 1 for the injured man. So they get to attack first. They're just going to do the full-on attack. The first guy. Now remember, and that full-on attack is going to be 3 versus 3 dice versus 2 dice. He is fighting at a total of +1. Ooh, so he gets a total of 13. And the man he's fighting gets a total of 4. Plus his fight skill of 2. 6. And then because he's got some friends on his side. Where's that attack roll? Because he's got his friends, he gets another +1. So that's going to be a total of 6, 7, so that he does 6. And 6 is a critical wound. So he actually, wow, look at that. Oh no, you know what? Because he's not attacking, all that means is he survives. But now he has to survive. So here's our combat pool. A double attack. He's only gets 1 dice to the 3. And that's going to be a total of not enough to way too many. That's all she wrote. So with the total, it's okay. I know it's disappointing, Mr. Parrott. The only 2 guys left are these 2 Vendeeans way over there. And they're not dumb. They recognize when they've been licked. So they're going to take off. The Blues have won a decisive victory here. They managed to, for once, find themselves in a good strategic position and could just sit back and wait. So now you see how combined fire, a good leader, and wide open spaces work to the advantage of the Blues. Historically speaking, that's kind of how it would have happened. When the farmers engaged, when the Vendeeans engaged in their resistance, they did not make suicidal charges across broad fields. The only time they would move across broad fields is when they had a distinct numerical superiority, or at least several hundred guys at their back. In these kind of small meeting engagements, what they probably would have been more likely to do is set up over in the woods and wait for these guys to blunder into them and then strike from ambush. It was a sort of guerrilla war on the side of the Vendeeans, and as is so often the case, it worked. They did a fantastic job, at least until the Republicans, the Parisian mob, decided that they'd had enough and adopted a scorched earth policy and sent infernal legions to burn them out and to slaughter the civilians. That's what you do when you're fighting for freedom and liberty for your fellow countrymen, is you murder your countrymen. I sure am glad I don't live in a country where the leaders in the cities condone the murder of my fellow countrymen in order to liberate me from such horrible things as having a good job and a roof over my head. But that's a story for another day. For now, thanks for playing along with me. It looks like we got through this in one video after all. Look for you in a couple of days when we get to engage in a little bit more of the joy of wargaming. Until then, have a great October, and I'll be praying for you.